Hello, Skitters and I are here. It's Saturday. Nope. Wait, Skitters, hold up. Hello, Skitters and I are here. It is Friday, September 12th, 2025 for your bi-weekly update every 2 weeks. Let's see how that goes. Look at those monster claws. He's coming to sit beside me. Okay, so, hello, welcome, and adjusting the it's very crooked today. Neon slant. Okay, so how's everybody? It is now, I think, almost 12:30, and here we go. So so much better. One of my friends, gratefully, thankfully, I don't know how to mix it. So one of my friends got me the flavors syrup from one of my local coffee shops, and I far too sweet. It was far too sweet. It was too sweet. So I am back to my just regular coffee and chocolate milk mix until I really figure out quantity versus, the quantities of everything. Then we're just gonna stick with this for now. Although it was very good. So that's not anything about coffee. That's not what this channel is. It is about cross stitch. So are you ready? This week, last 2 weeks, I have worked on a lot of different things, very minimal of a lot of different things. So if I sit like this and not straight, am I then crooked? Who knows? So Skitters, as you can see, has joined me. He has decided to sit on all of my stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I do have to plug in the phone that I was going to show you all the pictures on, so I don't have to upload them. But it needed to be charged. So you're going to see the charging cable because, why not? And this is Simon. Simon in my background of my phone. Simon's in the background of this phone too, but you can't see him because, you're on the phone right now. So, same picture though. So, Skitters, do you think I can reach all the way over? Thank you, sir. Okay, so the reason why I got the drink is because I have some kind of tickle in my throat, plus I'm a little stuffy because I think I have allergies. I don't think I have sickness. But this constant stuffiness, it's got to go. Anyway, but I also have a tickle in my throat today, so that's bonus points. Sign into my tablet so that I can see all my numbers. Okay, so sheet 3. Let's start. Starting with sheet 3, I have attempted to, not very successfully, but at least the projects are there for Glamours 3. This is inspired by Siski Stitches. She has a Facebook page and she has a Instagram page thing, and she has a YouTube channel. So here we go. I might do something wild and crazy and fun. Hold on. Better. Okay, so and I also turned on the light above me, so not better. Who knows? Okay, doesn't matter. So here we are. We are now 12:15, and phone is charging and still crooked, and I don't know how to readjust it. Like you'd think, well, it's a dollar store stand, so who knows? But anyways, okay, so Glamours 3, Siski Stitches. Here we go. So the first one is Minnie Watching the World Go By. This is a retired chart by Lucy Pitaway. This is what it's going to look like, considering I just told you that I was just going to use my phone for a lot of the things. If you're new, you've never seen this, and that's not what I wanted. If you're new, you've never seen this, so here we go. This is Minnie Watching the World Go By Lucy Pitaway. It is currently retired, but you can get, last time I checked, you can get the kitted version on Bossy Threads, I think. At least you could a couple months ago. So, pretty sure it's still there. I was able to put in 213 stitches, and here we go. So this is the whole thing. And I worked in the bottom half, down here somewhere. I filled in some green along the edge, this green, and then I also filled in some of the oranges, and more of the greens. So I've brought this now green, this up here. Words, people, words. I'm not going to say how many times I've filmed this already today because it doesn't matter, but I seem to think that time number 3 for every filming is the best. So let's see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so up next is Mini Beginner Seashell. I might need to go to my pictures for this one because I don't think it's on my actual phone. Pictures, pictures, gallery. There's a lot of pictures on this one. Okay. So, Mini Beginner Seashell is this one, and this one is by Kayomi Harai. She is currently at 53.81%. And Skitters, did you see it? I can't tell you if it's I can't tell you if it is retired or not because I don't know. But I put in 206 stitches. This is working on the next diagonal over. So I worked a lot in here. So filling in the next row of 20. Because the 10 rows don't seem to be wide enough. Because otherwise it's never going to get finished. Alright, last but not least for the Glamorous 3, I will try again this week, but it is Mini Dragon in the Morning, and that is Simon, and this is my dragon. This is what he's eventually going to look like. But for right now, I am working up in this corner over here. And we are at 14.39%. I was able to finish off the column I was working on. Sorry. And here we go. So this is the whole thing. And then here we go. Oh man, the holding thing today is not working out so well. Okay, try that. What is happening? Maybe third time will not be the charm. Okay, so good enough. Alright, okay, so I finished this column, and then now I'm just stitching in the parked threads is what I'm doing there. And that is a string, and it's supposed to be in the back. It's not part of the steam. When I was stitching the steam up here, I was always thinking, is that a parked thread? Is that a thread? Is that a thread that's loose? No, that was just steam. But this, what you just saw about up here, that is a thread that's attached to the fabric. And this is it's a whole thing today, guys. We're gonna try and refold this so that we can actually see what we're doing. Because honestly, no, I put the part I worked on last on the inside. Okay, so Patience, patience. Skitters is still sitting here watching me thinking, oh my goodness, this lady. Alright. We'll even wrap it around like this. So what have you been watching while you're stitching? I partly watched FlossTube, and I am now addicted to rewatching Gilmore Girls. I'm on season 3. Anyways, if you know, you know. Okay, so, right. So I finished this column and started parking threads, finishing the park threads. And so I'm just working across the whole width, and then I'll just start filling in, because that's what we do. That's how that is rolling. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows when that's going to get finished, because I just want to finish the row that I'm on, regardless of the whole piece. Once I have that row finished, it's going to be like party central. Party central. But that's okay, because that row, I decided that I wanted it 3 boxes down instead of 2 boxes down. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Okay, so that's it for Glamorous 3 stitching. My sniffles are back, but I don't care. Skitters is still with me. Simon is around meowing, and we're gonna move on. So, what's next? Sorry, Skitters. Sorry. Okay. Let's do this since it's here. I was gonna save this one for last because it's the most amount of stitching, but it's currently within reach of not disturbing Skitters, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so my temperature stitching is what I stitched on for the most amount this week. Does that any of that make sense? Anyway, lives in this current bag because I decided to put all of the themed stitching together so that it would be easier to find, so I'm not spending half my time looking for said projects. So now he moves. Fine, see you later, bye. We're gonna do a runaround. Oh, good grief. Okay, so one of the days, I can't tell you which day, but one of the days was a ending in 0, and for me, ending in 0 is random because this is the whole thing. So I had only 20 projects that I wanted to work on that were full coverage. So 9 of them are here. 9 of them are for temperature, and 3 of them are for Glamorous 3, and then the remaining 9? That is 8. The remaining 8? Does that make sense? I don't know. There's 20. That's all I know. Right? Oops. Yes, there's 20. 20. There's 20. Anyways. So, spun for random because it was 0. And came up with Ornament Dragon. I don't know if I have it on my phone. Let's find out. In the pictures. Pretty sure I do. There it is. Ornament Dragon. This is a design by Lisa Parker of Heaven and Earth Design. Can't wait to get past the top arc because I really want to start in on that dragon, but you know, one day at a time. Currently we're at 1,391, 81, 91 as I zoom in. I definitely stitched 102 stitches, that's for sure. And as you can see in just a second, it was all this gray stripe. So that, I guess, is the bottom of the moon. Oh goodness. Yeah. Because I think it's all in there, maybe. Left to right. Left to right, people. It's all the it's all the arc of the moon. So if you could, anyways, you know where it's all up here. That dark gray space right there. That's where I put in the stitches. Currently at 3.57%. This is a, I don't know, an ice blue Ada, just because it was on stash. That's what I had at the time when I wanted to start that project, so that's what I had. Alright, next is number 1, and number 1 was called Once. I put in 72 stitches for a... Why does my light do this? Anybody have any ideas? Just randomly goes out at times. Okay, so Fractal 53 by Cross Stitch Collectibles is this one. And I put in 72 stitches for a color finish, and I'm not going to show you the back this time, and here we go. So I'll zoom in. So there was a color finish. As you can see, I have random stitches down here to make the color finish. This is every 10 stitches, so I might do the same thing along the bottom just to make sure I'm a-okay, but as far as I can tell, we're good. So that color is finished. So I can't tell you how many finished colors I have currently, because I don't know. There's a bunch, because every time I try and pick it up, I try and finish a color until it's done. So that's that. The next thing is a new start, I think. I don't think I've showed you. If I have showed you, I've only shown you once. This is on the Ever Purposeful 20 count pre-gridded Ada, because I really couldn't decide what I wanted to do, but I did decide. I cropped it. I am going to have to insert a picture because I don't think anywhere else has a picture of this. So this is my cropped version of Galaxy Gazing by Michelle Saeda of Heaven and Earth Design. Her daughter drew it and painted it, and then had an unfortunate situation happen, and then she charted it. So here we go. So 400 stitches in. I think it's only at 1% because that's what Stitch Pal says, because it's 75,000. Where's the number? 73,500 is what I've chopped it down to. So yeah, if at all you can support Heaven and Earth Designs, she's had a really rough couple of months. 2024 has not been 2025 has not been the greatest year ever. So alright, next is in my stash. Sorry for the, if you can hear the hissing and growling, that's Charlotte. She is having an attacking fight with Simon, who likes to just play, and so Charlotte is on like super defense mode. I'll see if I can take a picture. Hold on. Before the, oh jeez. I wonder if I could film it and then video, insert it later if this continues. I'll see if I can insert that. Sorry if it was just me for 15 seconds doing that. I'm going to see if I can overlay it here just so that, you know, this is what happens in my house. Okay, so back to this. So this is Mini Butterfly Rose Cross. I did not show you this version of it. Oh, now you should have seen that, really. Anyways, this version of it, because this version was easier to tell Pattern Keeper what I've done. So this is Mini Butterfly Rose Cross. There it is. Mini Butterfly Rose Cross. I think it's a retired chart now, but it was from Bridget Ashwood. And here we go. I only did 51 stitches, but it was enough to make sure where I was on track. Here we go. This is 1/1 half cross. So yeah, so we're trying to do a half cross situation because the holes are so small. I don't know what the count is. I have no idea. I don't know where I got the fabric from, but very, very small. It could be a 32, 1/1. I think so. Are you hearing all this? Oh my goodness. Life is tough around here today. Okay. So at that point, 2.3 point, I did it again. 2.34%. The last 2 times I've tried to film this today, I'd say 2.3.4. 2.3.4. 2.34% with a fight in the background. This is chaos. Oh man. Anyway, okay, so that's that. Next that I finished was Pokemon Starters. This is by Floss and Cross on Etsy. I'm sure you can still get it. The other thing is it doesn't love Pattern Keeper. It goes into Pattern Keeper, but it's finicky on finding the colors. You have to find them yourself, but c'est la vie. This is where we're at for the whole thing. Whole thing is at 3.57%. I put in 102 stitches, and the 102 stitches that I put in are over here. The fight has ceased. Simon is walking away. So yes, so working on Trico, and so I think I put in more of his abdomen, and I definitely put in all of the black that surrounds him, and I think I also finished his eyes since last time you saw it. And then I'm going to fold it up like this, and it's going to be so confusing because why not, right? Alright, so sip of... Did I show you what Pokemon Starters was going to look like? It's on my phone. Hold on, please. Pokemon Starters. There are so many things that I have started and decided to stop starting. Okay, I know it's here somewhere because I used this phone for so long. Pokemon Starters. So I'm currently right up there. Is where I'm working right now. Alright. Last in this is QS Butterfly 2. And that is this. I've tried and tried and tried this piece. I've tried to stitch on this piece, and so now I'm just sticking with it because I feel like I have to. So every time I try and say the designer's name, the artist's name, I get it wrong. So this is not that chart. Okay, so Ching Chu Kuik was the one that designed this one. So Heaven and Earth Designs, Ching Chu Kuik. It was I think I bought it a long time ago. Anyway, it could still be there. I think it is. Randomly I see people stitching on it, so unless we bought it all at the same time, who knows. I don't have any percentages because the Pattern Keeper version I have of this right now doesn't have everything marked off yet. So, but I did add this swoosh of tanny yellow of 101 stitches. So that was my number 8. I was not able, the things did not come up for number 3, number 5, or number 9, but everything else was stitched on because those temperatures were not called. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to clean this little space up. Apparently they are fighting for the sunlight space because I have another window in front of me to my right, and they like to sit on the floor in front of the sunlight, of course, and I think Charlotte won that fight because Simon is still licking his wounds. Okay, there were no wounds, don't worry about it. The wounds of shame, I think. Okay, so back to sheet 2 because that's what I originally wanted to talk to you about next. The train game. The train game. Okay, so the train game was a fail. Kind of. My thought was I was going to pull a train card every day, but that didn't happen. So let's do what I'll show you what I did, and we'll go from there. So the black train got called for 80 stitches, and so I did the black train project, which was Sad Fairy by Elena Lazareva of Heaven and Earth Designs. Can't tell you right now if it's retired. You can go check it out. I think it's still there, actually. This is the regular version. I think there's a max color situation going on, I think. Anyway, this is big enough for me. It is currently at 2.6%. I put 80 stitches in, and it's 4,910 stitches. So super close to 5,000, but not yet. So this is the side of page 1. This is the bottom of page 1. So hooray! I have found the edges of page 1 of, I don't know, 50 pages or some craziness. Like, the fabric is huge. This is on an 18 count. Massive. Not as massive as some, but massive for me. The total stitch count is 189,000, so that's pretty big. That's pretty big for me. My next biggest one is Dragon in the Morning, and it's 105,000, so just saying. Apparently anything over 100,000 is massive. For me. Okay. I know some of you out there are like, 100,000, that's nothing. It's a whole lot. Okay. Okay, so that was the black train. Now we're on to the orange train, Mini Sunflower Cottage. And that is by Donna Gelsinger, and that is up here somewhere. If you mock up. So that's this Mini Sunflower Cottage. I'm still up here, up at the top, not even all the way across. I've gone halfway across the top, and I was able to stitch in 103 stitches, and the 103 stitches made it so that I could show you the whole thing first, and then the 103 stitches made it so that I could finish whatever was in here, but I think that was already done, and I started in on the next cloud. So that is now at 7.27% and 4,097. There you go. Skitters, please stop playing with that. Hold, please. Okay, new video because apparently I didn't press pause. Oops. Okay, that's fine. He was stuck on some... We need to cut his nails. As you can see, the monster claws got stuck into part of the vacuum cleaner. Anyways, that's fine. I saved him. Okay, so I did show you this, right? 7.27%. Next is Steampunk Portal, a Heaven and Earth Design mystery, not mystery. The Heaven and Earth Design stitch along this year. Goes this way. I had only stitched 66 stitches out of the potential 100 because I finished the diagonal I was working on. So I figured that was a great stopping point. So here we go. If you don't know what it looks like, so this is what the whole thing's going to look like in the end. Right now I am currently up here, top left, first page. But the first page, the diagonals are going to get smaller now. So this is the bottom, that's the side of the first page. So now they're just going to get smaller and smaller and smaller until the next page starts. then it'll be a whole new thing. So I put 66 stitches into that, so it's at 6.25%. Last one in here is Autumn Fairies, and Autumn Fairies is not in Pattern Keeper, fully charted yet in I haven't fully done the whole thing in Pattern Keeper yet, so here we go. This I put in 125 stitches. I think I worked up here, I think I worked in here. So we'll do a zoom in of a close-up for everything. But this is the top and the bottom of the whole piece. This is back when minis really meant mini, because, you know, this is tiny comparative. This is on 14 count, so imagine what it would have been if it was on 25 count. Little. That though, this is what that will look like in 2.3 seconds. Hold please. I really want to start that one with the goggles. I know it. There it is. That's what this one's gonna look like in the end. So I've essentially gotten the whole top part almost done, and then all the way across the bottom or the side. But that is Autumn Fairies. It was a freebie from a super long time ago, by Karen Middleton of Heaven and Earth Designs. Simon, I don't know where she went, buddy. Oh, she's over on the couch now. Come on. Whenever he decides that he's missing somebody or somebody is missing, he has to like do this meow to try and find them. It's okay, everybody's on the couch. Okay, no, he is not a couch fan. All right, that is it. Yes, that is it for train stitching. So I think that is it for all of my current updates. Just put all that back in. I have not done any stitching today, but we'll see how that goes because plans have changed. We were going to go out and do things. Hold please. Alright, so I caught a Simon. Can you say hello? Can you say hello? You can cling wrap to mommy. Okay. Yeah, He's the baby boy. He's the baby boy. Okay. I know, you don't really want to be here. Okay, see you later. Anyways, okay, so sorry for the interruption. There was a phone call. I was able to catch Simon. And so I think that might be it. So plans going forward through this hot flash because I was holding on to Simon. Okay, so plans going forward. I'm going to try and do Glamorous 3 for reals this week. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm going to try and do all my temperature stitching. I'm going to try and do another round of train game, but we'll see how that goes. And I think that might be it. This week I have an appointment on Monday morning. James has treatment on Thursday and Friday. If we ever decide to go up this weekend to the trailer, we're going. But I think today might just be a rest day because we'll see. Yeah, this week's been pretty busy, so there's that. So I think that might be it. We are just doing the things. Nothing super exciting, just living life with our 3 cats. I need to go over and try and grab Charlotte because she's the only one that I haven't. What, please? Alright, here's my number 1 troublemaker. Her name is Charlotte. Yes, I know. Talk to the people. It's okay. I know. See, I'm not doing anything. She just growls. We think she's just okay. Okay. Goodbye. She doesn't like the camera. It's okay, Charlotte. Anyways, she's our number 1 troublemaker. She's growled since day 1, so that's just part of her. She is. We don't do anything to her, but she's just growly. Anyway, I'll see everybody later. Sparkle and shine. Have a great rest of your weekend whenever you watch this. And I will see everybody later. Bye, everybody.